What's up, guys? Welcome back to Just Nuts. Just John today. No Alan. I know it's weird, but Alan's in Miami, and I want to try recording different videos anyway. So definitely have something different than what you usually get here. Just not just the regular playthroughs. But today I want to talk about something Yu-Gi-Oh! Wise instead of Pokemon, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been something I've been huge into for over like a year now, and I think I'm going to be on for years to come. But anyway, a new card got released today, and I'm really excited about it. I want to talk about it. I just want to share it with anyone who wants to see. So I'm gonna hop in real quick. I want to go to Yu-Gi Organization here, ending misinformation. That's their slogan. Love it. But look at this, guys. If you had told me that like a new Link monster was gonna get revealed and it's actually decent, and I think this is decent, but we'll talk more about it in a sec. I would not have guessed that Familiar, Possessed, or Charmers would have been that archetype to get a Link monster, and possibly 6 Link monsters. We'll see here in a sec. So Hita the Blazing Fire Charmer, the card here. It's a Link 2 Fire Spellcaster Link Effect monster, 1850 attack, with a bottom left and a bottom right arrow, so the exact arrows you're looking for in a solid Link 2. But this is the interesting part right here. Materials. 2 monsters, including a fire monster. That's it. This card is more generic than Doolittle Chimera, which is like, the one that takes 2 fire monsters. It gives a 500/500 boost to all fire attribute monsters, and if it's destroyed, you get a fire back from your graveyard to your hand. So this card is more generic than those, and it's a beat stick at 1850. Not a great beat stick, but it is one. But yeah, so let's read this card's effects. This card is always treated as a Familiar Possessed monster card. Okay, sure. It has the name, and you can only use each of its name effects once per turn. So both these effects are only once per turn. First one says you can target 1 fire monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon that monster to your zone this card points to. And the second effect is if this Link Summon card is destroyed by battle or your opponent's effect, you can add 1 fire monster with 1500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Really interesting card. Any card that deals with your opponent's graveyard is kind of iffy because you're relying on your opponent, you know what I mean? So but this card doesn't seem like a significant combo card, so that's like the good part. This doesn't seem like a card where if this doesn't resolve, you just lose. It's not a win condition or anything. But I think it's definitely interesting. And the most interesting part to me is the implications this card has, where because this is a Familiar Possessed monster, if you don't know, Familiar Possessed is there's 1 for each attribute. So what I'm assuming with this is that we're going to get 5 more of these, all of different attributes. And I don't think they'll have the same effects. I don't think they'll all be relative to their own type with the same exact effects. Just because why would they just release 1 and then not the others? So when they release 1, everybody starts, talking and being like, oh my god, what are the other ones going to do? The more significant ones, like light, dark, and earth, are the more significant ones just because there's a lot more archetypes that can make use of those. And then wind, water, and fire being the less significant ones, just in terms of even being able to play them in decks. But definitely really interesting. And if they only released her, then everybody would talk and all that, and everybody would be like, oh man, I wonder what the other ones do. And then if they released all the rest of them, and they all did the same exact thing, everybody would just be like, so lame. But I think they're definitely interesting. Thinking about fire, almost every meta deck right now plays Ash Blossom, so you can just steal an opponent's Ash Blossom and use it as a link-up material, as well as it does have this destruction effect. So I think it's an alright card. I don't think it's too bad. I just like the implications it has with a dark, light, or an earth one. Those are the 3 big ones, seeing what those will be able to do. And that's mostly it. I just think it's really cool. And I'm really excited to see what the new ones do. I actually used to play a Familiar Possessed deck earlier. Like I said, I've been playing for a year back on to Yu-Gi-Oh! And about a year ago, I actually built a Familiar Possessed deck, and it was a bad deck, but I was playing with my friends, and they were playing pretty bad decks too, so it was competing with them, and it was mostly a deck that could do a little bit of spamming with rank 4 spam with 1850 beat sticks, and that's mostly what it was. But it did all right. I'm not complaining. And But I'm really excited to see what these do. I love their designs. All the familiar possessed girls are waifu as fuck. Oh my god, it's crazy. They're actually so cute, and this one is no exception here. Look at her. Oh man, that's a different one. So that's interesting, because they usually have like the same looking like familiar based on the one, like whatever attribute it is, but this one's definitely different than the fire one, I think. Huh. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Just want to talk about what this card does and what it implies for the future of like more cards of these to come out. And thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, because it's just gonna make it easier to see more. I don't know. Just makes sense. Don't ask me. I'm not in charge. There. Bye, guys.